What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video coming at you with a LATO Incarnon. For those who don't know, Deviri also brought out Incarnon adapters for weapons that have been forgotten or just need a buff. But hey, it's a lot easier to give them a band-aid fix, you know, in the form of Incarnon adapters rather than actually reworking weapons, which is in a way a good thing, but it's also kind of like, did we really need them? In this case, I mean, it brings new life to the weapons. So if you don't have them, get them. So now you may ask, Hey Nightmare, how do you get these Incarnon adapters? Well, simple. You gotta finish your Deviri quest. Have you done that? Have you done that? No, go do it. We come here. This is the navigation here. Looks oddly familiar, but now there's a funny looking head at the top. Click the funny looking head, and then you have the spiral cycles. If you haven't seen my Deviri review, go check that out. I explain a bit more into this. Right here, we have the circuit. Once you click on it, you'll have two options: the normal and the steel path. The normal is, you know, for the regular Andes, the new player Andes who are just coming in and they don't have these warframes. They can click on one warframe to farm for that entire week. Yes, you'll have 3 selections for an entire week when it comes to warframes. But on the steel path, you'll have 2 options of Incarnon adapters. I went with the LATO and the Paris. Now, if you don't know, you can attach these adapters to any version of these weapons. For example, if you have the LATO Vandal and the LATO, the regular LATO, you can attach these to that. But of course, I went with the LATO Vandal because it's way better. And for those who have LATO Prime, well, good for you. If you look on the side here, we have evolutions, just like your regular Incarnons. For example, we have the LATO. Once you click on the LATO, right, it does have evolutions, but it's 1 evolution less compared to the adapters. Once you approach Cavallero, you go to Evolve. However, to attach the adapter to the weapon, you do need Deviri resources. So you gotta play the Deviri. Once you click on it, now you have access to the evolutions. Step by step, you gotta unlock them by doing certain activities. Get headshots, get kill in Incarnon Form, etc, etc. Now, the first evolution is, of course, activating the Incarnon Form, which is done by the alternate fire once you fill up a meter right below the reticle. The second set of evolutions, well, you have 2. Right here, increase damage by 22 and 40 when you have overshields. So that's even better, right? Get overshields, more damage. However, you have another form. Increase damage by 12 and reload from NT, you have 30. So take whichever one you want. If you have a frame that can maintain overshields, go for this one. If you're gonna blow your load quite often, then go with this one. Simple as that. Nothing special. Now, evolution 3. This is also kind of nothing special, but also one, we have increase accuracy and reduce recoil. This works in Incarnon Form. However, these two do not. On headshot, 20% chance for 50% ammo efficiency. It's not bad, right? And then over here, on kill, 50% chance for instant reload, which is kind of nice. So if you want a neutral one, you can go for Void Guidance, which gives you that accuracy and, you know, reducing recoil by 50%. But I kind of went for this one. This can be nice if you're charging up your Incarnon. That's why I went for this, because you don't really notice that much of a recoil when you use your Incarnon mode or any other mode. And then finally, for the Giga Damage, the final evolution, you have 3 choices. You got this little heart one right here, which gives you a flat increase of crit chance and status chance, which is also nice. Very good if you want to do bleed builds. Now, this is one of my favorites. If you want Giga Red crits, of course I know you do. What's that all about? Giga Red crits. This gives you a flat 38% crit chance when you do a weapon swap. Now, what is a weapon swap? Meaning, press the swap button, you go to your other weapon, and then come back to your secondary weapon, and boom, you get these buffs. This can be hard for some Andes who are not used to that, but for Eidolon hunters, oh, this is easy. We vigorous swap all the time. Of course, okay, I also forgot about, you know, the endurance runners, disruption endurance runners. I'm sorry, I forgot about you guys. Right here, direct damage per status type. This is like a condition overload, but if you have the mod equipped, it's going to be additive to that. So I would say you can just use this, get the crits, and mod for condition overload. Or if you don't want to go that route, you can go for this one and not mod for condition overload. But the great thing about condition overload on your secondary is that it gives you status chance and damage, which is even better. Now, reminder, it's direct hits, and LATO is a pseudo AoE. I'll explain. Okay, here we are in the simulacrum. We click heads, we get our Incarnon mode. Activate Incarnon mode. And now, once you hit an enemy, right, the bullets will ricochet to other enemies. However, if you shoot the ground, nothing happens. You actually need to click bodies and heads for you to be able to spread this ricochet. It kind of resembles Jacob's weapons in Borderlands 3. When you click heads, it ricochets. Kind of cool, right? Yes, of course it is. Now, if you look at your crosshairs, you see that little gauge at the bottom, right? It's not filled. Saren, please move your titties. Thank you very much. This gauge fills up when you deal headshot damage. So, click heads. Look at that, filled up. And is also affected by multi-shots. What does that mean? I will tell you. What happens if I do several hits with one shot? Very simple. You will instantly charge this meter. Activate Xata's Whisper. Click head. It's full. Now remember, this is headshots only. Xata's Whisper is very good for instantly charging this meter, but there is also a caveat. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Xata's Whisper will mark a target with a giant bubble. This bubble is then going to redirect all of your bullets to the initial impact point. Now, what does that mean? You shoot the body with Xata's active. This whole bubble counts as a body shot, meaning you don't get your Incarnon meter filled up. but that's not fair. Well, get good. Gotta make sure to hit the head. What's that? Damn, I forgot it charges so quickly. See, we shoot the bubble and we instantly get our meter charge. But the problem is, Xata's good, but then when you activate Incarnon mode, it spreads bullets and ricochets. Now, these shots are not guaranteed headshots. You know what that means, right? It means, well, even if you spread the shots and you want to fill up your meter once again and Xata's bubble is on an enemy, it's not guaranteed that that bubble is going to be a headshot bubble. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to have a hard time filling up your meter. Even though Xata is really good for instantly charging your meter, I wouldn't recommend it all the time, unless you know what you're doing. Now, let's take a look at all the evolutions. Once again, level 2, I went with more damage with overshields. Now, if you're playing with a Warframe that's not consistent with overshields, well, don't take that. At number 3, we have the ammo efficiency on headshots. And finally, the Giga Crits. Of course, why not? This is obviously what you're going to be taking. Anyway, let's take a look at the builds. Now, the first build is a slash non-elemental build. This build will depend on other sources of priming, meaning from your kitty if you're running the Panzerwelpophyla, or if you're going to be using an alternate fire with Cedo, spreading the viral status effect, and then clicking heads. Very simple. And that's also going to feed into the weapon swapping, so it's going to be a lot easier for you to get used to that. Now, you may ask, how is that done? Well, alternate fire, you see it spreading all the status effects, swap, and you get the red crits. You see? Alternate fire. Click heads. Pretty cool, right? Just like that. So if you were to go that route, Cedo is a great option if you're doing weapon swapping and you want to easily get used to weapon swapping. Basically, it's a newbie approach for the weapon swapping. But for Giga Chads, you just do double click and you get the buff. For example, shown right here, double click, activate, double click, and we're spreading that. Very nice, very juicy. Going back to the first build, you may notice, yes, we have 20% status chance. We will be getting random procs, but our highest priority here is slash. And when you proc slash, we have a chance of bleeding. However, it's not as guaranteed, but it's still very good at shredding enemies. Now, this mod right here is interchangeable. Well, it's very easy. If you have a crit chance buff from other sources, meaning from arcanes like Arcane Avenger, using Harrow, etc., drop this, swap this into this section right here, and then equip sharpened bullets. That's more crit damage. That means it's going to multiply your damage even more when you crit. Pretty good, right? Just like that. But if you want consistency and you don't have those other sources and you want red crits, you can do this. Now, the second build right here is either gas or corrosive. Now, going for the basic build, we have the corrosive or gas. This is a very nice, easy loadout for anyone who wants to click heads. We have Deadhead here, which gives you a headshot damage multiplier and base damage, free base damage, and running Prime Expel Corrupted. We got our buff, activate it, big swap. No red crits, right? But it's still very satisfying to see those numbers. Now, what happens when we take this mod right here, see how it's fancy electric, and we put Heated Charge. Get him grouped up. As you notice, I also have Arcane Avenger on this build. This works even better if you armor strip them. It's crazy damage, right? Look at that. They're already dying. They're already dying. That wasn't fair. You see the Giga Million damage, right? It's juicy. You loved it. That happens. This is the single target armor strip build if you're going to do disruption or whatnot. And just use Eclipse for Giga damage. Simple as that. But for every day, I'll go with Config A and Config B. These two just work really well. This is just a bit easier to use. No red crits, but this one gives you red crits. This can give you red crits if you were to outsource your crit chance. Like Citrine, for example. Oh, wait, this Warframe could give you red crits? Yes, she can. Oof. Oof. God damn. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the LATO Vandal Incarnon Adaptor. Have fun with it for those who got it. And for those who didn't, well, you're gonna get it sometime when the rotation comes back. Who knows? But it is what it is. And to be honest, with the Incarnon Adaptor, it actually made me bring out this weapon, which I haven't touched in years. So even though the Incarnon system is a band-aid fix, it also helps you try out weapons that you haven't touched in years. Anyway, folks, that has been it from me. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.